Hello, I have not got my theme tune music on. Hold on, let's get the theme tune music on. I really started to love this one for some reason. I hope you do too. Here we go, I can find it. Welcome to another episode of Between the Covers. As you come into this broadcast, please do tap the screen, show us some love, let us know where you're watching from, and of course, if you find this of worth and value, please do not keep this to yourself, share it out with your followers. So, who am I, first of all? If you're watching for the first time, my name is Daniela Bleckner. I'm an author, book journey mentor, founder of a company called Conscious Dreams Publishing, and we transform diverse writers into successful published authors. On the bookshelf behind me here are just some of the 200 plus books that we've published over the last 6 years. I'm absolutely passionate about providing a platform for unseen, unheard voices so that they can share their powerful messages and story with the world so they can inspire, educate, empower, and entertain for generations to come. So what is this show all about? This show is about getting up close and personal in between the covers of what it takes to actually publish a book. So this platform, I interview authors that we publish, sometimes authors we haven't, my mentees, and you really get a taste into what that author journey was like. And I have a very, very special guest today. I'm going to turn this music down because this needs full attention. Her name is Faye Thompson. I met Faye Thompson in 2019 at an event, and it was a debate, and we shared similar ideas in this debate. And she had a free 30-minute consultation with me. She had a great idea for a book. We actually became, hey Joanna, we ended up becoming really good friends. And she has been, before I speak about what she's doing now, she's been absolutely integral to Conscious Dreams Publishing. She first started with us as a volunteer. She helped out at the Christmas parties, setting everything up, keeping me calm, helped out at so many different events. Hey, Xavier, nice to see you. Hello. Sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. She's helped out at so many events, so many other people's book launches, being there when I've done events online, sending the links and the moderating the chat. She's been behind the scenes of so many things, and this now is her time to shine with her awesome, amazing book she's finally published called I Got You. Look at that. Look at that. I bet you want to know what it's about, do you? Well, let me tell you a little bit more about Faye. Faye Thompson was born and raised in South London. A 47-year-old mother, I know she does not look it, of two beautiful and talented children. She is a qualified Reiki and Crystal Reiki practitioner, holds a diploma in homeopathy, and is also in Monterey. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. I'm so sorry. I can't say it. Trained directress with an international teaching diploma. She has recently reignited her passion for baking Jamaican patties, and let me tell you, they are divine, and a variety of cakes, of which, of course, I have sampled. She is absolutely phenomenal. Let me invite the awesome and amazing Faye. Please do show us some love. Tap the screen and say hello. Hello, Faye.
Hi, hi, Danny. Oh my gosh, coughing already. Yeah. Hi, how you doing? What a great intro.
Oh, I try.
I'm much older now. I'm more than 47 now,
Well,
Remember?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's when I wrote it.
We're not going to make any more changes to the book. Yeah, of course, I went to a recent landmark birthday. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of that. How does it feel to be? I mean, your book's out very, very soon. I think it's next week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very soon. Can't remember the exact date. Do you remember the date?
So I think it's available from the 31st, but the book launches on the 12th of August.
31st, that's it, exactly. Yeah. You've changed it a few times, but the book launches on the 12th. But you have the book in your hands, in your house. How does it feel to be a very, very nearly published author?
It's kind of weird because I look at the book and I think, oh, this is a nice book. Look at that, it looks really good. And then I see my name and I say, oh, shame, it's your book, isn't it? So it's kind of surreal because, it's been a long time in the making from when I went to the workshop with you that you kindly invited me to. And I wasn't expecting, I don't know, I wouldn't have done it without you, that's for sure. There's no way Yeah, so it's been a while in the gestational period, and this
Well, you know, as
you know,
somebody who is a phenomenal cook yourself, you know that sometimes the best things take the longest to actually cook, right?
yeah, it's true. It's true.
So you did the Power of the Story workshop, didn't you? I think it was what, in 2019? Was it 2019?
I think it was 2000. I met you in 2019, did I?
Yeah. So I think,
I
yeah,
don't
the
know.
workshop
Time's
was
flown
definitely
so fast. Yeah,
2019 it was, because
yeah.
obviously we had lockdown. Tell us a bit about that workshop and how you felt, you know, seeing the other authors who came and spoke about their journey and taking part in it. And could you see yourself here?
Yeah, the workshop was really informative, and I had no idea, the amount of things that you actually need to do to really just, to write a book. You're thinking to yourself, oh yeah, just write a few lines, get it all kind of like edited and put the grammar in and everything. And actually the process can be much longer. You've got your manuscripts that you write, you've got the ideas, who's your target audience, all of those things. I wasn't thinking any of it. I was just thinking, oh, I'm just going to do an affirmation book, just put a few affirmations in, make everything like nice for people's lives. But then, having spoken to the authors or the people that were potentially going to be authors, they kind of, how do I put it? They just, it was a group that people that were in there that just really, we all kind of, what was it? We gelled with each other. Like we had that kind of same thing going on, certain feelings that we had. It was emotional as well,
Yeah,
if you
I
remember,
remember.
because I revealed a part of me that I hadn't really revealed to people that I didn't know as well. That was quite that was kind of phenomenal for me, really. But I felt like I was in a safe space being in the workshop as well. I didn't feel like everyone was just going to run out there and say, oh, this is what happened to this person. And actually, I've made, other discoveries through meeting some of the people like Lisa Sabaniak,
Yes,
who's
Lisa.
a Reiki master as well. We're in contact. We still have we have a Reiki circle together. So you never know who you're going to meet. And I think the people that you do meet are going to be people that you need. So you have something, your paths were meant to cross.
It's interesting you spoke about this. So I was just sharing that out as what you're saying is really important and people need to hear. But I mean, I think you really kind of reignited that memory of that workshop because it was a long time ago, but so much happened. I remember that moment. It was really powerful and poignant. And I think it's really important to have that safe space where you can share these things because writing your book can be very exposing and can be very vulnerable, especially when you're writing from your personal experience. And like you said, every single woman in that space almost interconnected in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty, I think, of doing these workshops. It's not about one person at the front telling somebody how to write a book or how to publish a book or what it takes to write a book. It's about the dynamics of the group. And thank you for being part of it.
Yeah, thank you.
I've got some comments here. Yoshiba, one of our authors, says, missed intro, but watching from my garden. Greetings and congrats to you. Joanna says, looking good, Faye. There's two of my authors right there, Joanna and Yoshiba. So we've spoken about the workshop. Tell us about your book. I got you.
What to say? My book. So let's see. So my book is really about offering people some kind of advice, reflections. It's kind of a working book as well as offering affirmations, and just information. I've exposed a little bit of my past mistakes with relationships. It's really something that it is from a personal standpoint. However, what I really would like people to do is to really feel that they're able to have their voice in relationships, to communicate more kindly to each other, more effectively, rather than just shouting or, you know, just exploding when something doesn't go right, or you haven't got your own way, whatever that's supposed to be. You know, I think I just want people to, you know, embrace happier, healthier relationships. And it doesn't have to be just a relationship, male, female. It can be your sister, your brother, whoever it is, you know, grandparents, whoever you may feel like, yeah, something's a little bit off here. Maybe I can breathe some other life into it. Maybe I can come at this from a different perspective, you know.
It's interesting as well. Like when I read it, I could really resonate with a lot of it. And like you say, it's not about just romantic relationships. There's so many different sorts of relationships. But going back to the beginning in your intro, you talk about, you know, you describe yourself as being quite a shy, reserved child, and how that had an effect on you as an adult and in your relationships. And so you learned about that. Is there anything you can share with us?
Yeah, I mean, everyone just said, oh, she's so shy, because I might just have been there behind my mum, sucking my thumb, just rubbing her tights or something like that, just not really saying a lot. But maybe other people like my aunties might say, no, you used to do things, but perhaps I was comfortable speaking to people one-to-one, or, you know, people that I knew really well. But otherwise, it always came across like I was shy. But when you're coming from a generation of the 70s, and children being told, or I definitely heard it, you know, speak when you're spoken to, or you know, little children mustn't be seen, should be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
We underestimate the subconscious mind. Yeah, you see, probably people have seen the picture of the iceberg, where you see everything above the iceberg is what you kind of present yourself as, and people don't really know you. And then underneath, under all the layers, are all of the points in time where someone may have ridiculed you for speaking up, or you got the answer wrong in class, and people laughed at you. So you think, I'm not putting my hand up again because people are going to laugh at me. You know, people speaking to you a certain way, and you've fired off. Your subconscious mind recalls everything, and you just don't know. As you're growing up, you don't realize which parts your being has taken on to make you who you are. So I've had to go through personal journey after personal journey, trying to kind of not reinvent myself, but to try and make myself, you know, more capable of speaking up for myself, because I've been in certain relationships and certain things for far too long, not speaking up and being kind of passive because of perhaps, you know, someone hurting me. And that's not just like verbally, you know, there was physical stuff that had taken place, or I would just run. I'm off.
Yeah, fight or flight.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be there wasting any time speaking to people, or just going to the place where you just hold it and hold it and hold it till you explode, and then you're unable to really get across what you're what you're really thinking, because you've exploded.
Yeah.
So you know,
I think that's really powerful what you said. I'm going to read the comments in a second, and that's really powerful what you said. That, I mean, first of all, it's almost like through having a relationship, again, doesn't have to be a relationship, it can be a relationship with a friend or a spouse or a partner, whatever. But relationships kind of bring about a greater sense of self-awareness. And I think we can do one of two things. We can just carry on how we've always been, and stay in particular situations, or we can use it as a vehicle to really learn about ourselves. And I love the fact that you do that, even though it is painful. There's a lot of healing, I think, in the pages that you've written, both for yourself and I think the people that will read it. How difficult was it for you to really be vulnerable and share some of those things and go on that journey of self-awareness and healing?
I mean, in the workshop, that was the first point where I really felt like, it's not like I hadn't told people about the stuff that has happened to me, but, you know, it was really eye-opening, the amount of things that actually came out from it, because the book's been edited. And I probably put other stuff in and took it out. I said, no, I can't write that. I've got to take that bit out. That's too much information. So what I want is for people to not just see me as a little party animal, because most of the time people just see me smiling and laughing. I'm dancing, and dancing is kind of, and music is maybe one of my coping mechanisms, where it makes me feel more happy. I'm in my happy place, so I'm be zoned out and just dancing like no one's watching, and that's really like that's what helps me get through
I can
stuff.
vouch for that.
Yeah.
So, I remember sort of reading and thinking, you talking about being shy and reserved and not having your voice heard. And knowing you for the short amount of time I've known you, from 2018, 2019, every time we've gone out, Faye is first on the dance floor. Just to me, I see the actual way of your expressing yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so here we go. I think we've got some questions. Selena Thompson, I've got to go to this one. She says, "That's my sister."
Hey. So, hello.
You've got a published author as a sister, Selena. I think she's proud of you. That's awesome.
Yeah, she is.
Yeshiva says your story might be personal, but your opening up is both healing and empowering to readers.
Yeah, I think it will be really. It is healing, and every time I look at it, and I'm thinking, oh wow, I wrote this, and there's affirmations, and I really want it to help other people as well, just to at least get from the place of maybe not speaking up, but to speak up and speak kindly, more effectively. It doesn't mean to shout. It might just be going up to your man's ear and just saying, "I'll deal with you later." But just know, you just have to kind of like rein yourself in sometimes and think clearly what you're going to say. Whatever the outcome, really, you want it to be a positive outcome, and actually whether it seems to work in your favor or not is still the best outcome.
Thank you very much. We're going to talk more about communication and communication styles as well, and the importance of our voice. So I'm holding on to that one. Afra, hey Afra. She says, "Hey ladies, lovely to see you."
Hi Afra.
Thank you. And she says, "Big hugs. I feel you, Faye Thompson. This is very brave."
Oh, thank you.
100%. It is. It's such a hard thing to write. Revealing parts of ourselves that I'm sure a lot of people don't know as well. How does that feel at the moment? I know you said you felt quite nervous about it.
Yeah, it's a little bit nerve-wracking, because some things that your best friends know, sometimes that's okay, kind of leaving it there with them. But there's things that I didn't get counseling for, maybe because of feeling ashamed. Part of it was because I didn't realize that what had taken place with me was actually something that I didn't know specific names of stuff. Counseling costs money. It's just a lot. So I had to just, what is it called, like self-heal, really. A lot of the times it is so easy to just brush something under the carpet, which I did, and just get on with it, just keep going, and just say, oh, that was what it was, and just leave it there.
I think culturally, I mean, sorry to cut you, but I think culturally as well, definitely coming from a Caribbean background or heritage, there is a lot of shame around talking outside the family, going to counselling. In a sense, we are taught to, put up and shut up and endure all, or sweep it under the carpet. So I think what you're saying there is really valuable, in the sense that it really is important to go out and get help. I mean, what would you advise people who are going through a struggle, repeated patterns in relationships, and maybe it's related to their past? What advice would you give them?
Well, I mean, I'm not an advisor like that, I'm not a counselor, but what I would say is, if you can seek counsel with somebody that you trust, that is you know, not biased. You know, they can see both sides of the story, or they're a healthcare professional that can help you. I mean, I do Reiki, so my way of dealing with stuff is through self Reiki, and I've belonged to a Reiki circle, so therefore I can ask for assistance for my highest good, and that's what Reiki is for. And it has no time span. You can go back into the past and try and get to the root of the problem. And although it could be tender and you cry it out or whatever, actually that's part of the healing process. And so I can speak about this without crying anymore. And once you know that you're not crying, you kind of know that you've got to a place of healing. And so, that's really, don't be ashamed to go and seek some form of counsel if you can, with someone that you resonate with. And yeah, that's what I could say.
That's great advice. Thank you. Laura is asking, can we have the name of the book, please?
Yes, I got you. It's about showing people how to support. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Is it coming out the right way? Yeah. It's called I Got You. Pretty simple.
Available in the link, Laura. So I think you're watching on LinkedIn. Yes, you are. So it's going to be in that post as well, but I'm going to put it in the chat too. If you go to the Conscious Dreams bookshop, you can get a signed copy directly from Faye as well. Nichols is asking, what parts you admitted going to make it in your next book? Oh, were the parts you admitted going to make it in your next book? Ever thinking about
my next book? How many years is that going to be? How long's that going to take, Danny? Danny's at her wit's end. You have to have a drink after, right?
Yeah. First of all, is there a second book? Is the first part of the question.
I hadn't thought about there being a second part to I Got You. There's other things that I might want to speak about. When I went on the last workshop that you did back in at Whalebones.
Oh yeah, February
February last year. So that was more to do with this year. Sorry, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The year's going quickly. That was to do with like ancestral healing, and if I do pursue that's going to talk a lot about probably like epigenetics and how the traumas that we have in our past from our ancestors actually can remain in our RNA, and therefore it continues. You may be holding on to something that didn't belong to you. It might have been to one of your grandmothers or a pattern from one of your grandfathers. I kind of starting to understand that as more of like when they talk about the sins of the father, and I think actually it's coming from that place of epigenetics being held in your RNA. But that's another story.
It carries 4 generations or 8 generations. I can't remember if anyone knows, let me know. I remember reading it was like 4 generations or 8 generations, the sins of your father or through the bloodline. I mean, it's a lot, isn't it? Not only dealing with childhood issues or subconscious beliefs, negative patterning, what society tells us. I mean, it could be really subtle. We're dealing with generational trauma and ancestry, ancestral healing that's needed as well. So I think there's scope for many books.
Yeah.
Janine says hello. Another one of our authors.
Oh yeah, I remember Janine actually. Yeah, I do remember Janine.
She's got a book called Everything, Losing His Love to Finding God's Love. We're doing republishing that one. So it also talks a lot about dealing with rejection and heartbreak and relationships. So that's definitely a great conversation there. Joanna says your spiritual strength always shines through even when you're partying. Yeah. Is music the means of you letting out your negativity?
Yeah, it's good. Sweat it out, girl.
Could that be a next workshop for you, maybe? And then afterwards we can have patties and cakes.
Oh yeah.
Sweat out the negativity on the dance.
And then have a patty. Yeah, why not?
Yeshiva says being strong and resilient, that ideal Black woman. Yeah, I
Mm.
mean, do you feel that there's this stigma or stereotype that, you know, you've got to be, you know, the kind of independent, strong black woman? It's
I
time.
became that person once I started taking care of my children, you know. That's how it was, because I realized either feeling that the being the part of being let down, and the kinds of things that I know that I would have offered, I would have been just giving and giving and giving of myself and not receiving. And part of that is all about your emotions, your chakras, your balancing, how you've perceived your parents, relationships. Perhaps my mum does a lot. She is self-sacrificing. She honestly, she is. There's a lot she hasn't done, I feel, since having me. And she had me when she was 25. She was doing a lot of stuff before I came along. And so I have to give thanks to my mum, definitely. So, forgot what the question was, but yeah, being an ideal black woman, although my mum is white. But I'm just saying, I have had to be that strong person, because I realized when, like, I could have been feeding my son or my daughter, just if I put it from my son's perspective, feeding him and thinking, okay, he's hungry, Nika wants to eat, how am I going to work this out, plus do the washing but I just kind of had to find a way to make it work and go to work and study. That's what my Montessori course was done when I was my son was 5 months old. So he had to go into nursery for 1 day a week. Thank goodness I had my sister working in the nursery, and she looked after him. Give thanks for that.
Really, I mean, you got two, and I've met your family, I've met both of your children, and they are just the most beautiful, amazing, polite, good-natured, positive, just really lovely children. And that is credit to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, needs must. I had to get on with it, and I guess my family, both sides of my family, they have had to be there for me when needed, and I have to give thanks for them to be around when I needed them to be around and stuff, But for the most part, when the doors are closed and you're in there with two little kids, you're thinking, okay, what are we going to do? What's going to happen now?
Well, what's happened is you've raised two beautiful kids, and this is your time now. It's your time. And I've lost what I was going to say, because I'm comment here from your sister saying, "Mum heard you, thank you. Heard your thank you." That's lovely. So your mum's listening in right
now. Bet she's crying now. Bless her.
Thanks for raising such a beautiful, lovely young woman in Faye's mum. Anyway, so yeah, we were talking about the sort of givers and takers, and you said something that kind of struck a chord in terms of, sometimes, and this is a lot of women actually, give, but then when it comes to receiving, there's like a block there. There's something that's stopping that receiving coming through. It's a one-way channel. I've been there. The less you get, the more you give. You think you give more, you get a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, then it will come, and it doesn't. There's a block. Would you say, talk to us a little bit about the givers and the takers? I know you speak about it in your book.
Oh yeah, I mean, givers are what you said. We constantly give to people. It might seem like it's a bit of people pleasing, and it's not necessarily on my part. I like people to be happy. I really do. I want you to be happy, so I will give what I can. I know, like, I volunteered with you, I volunteered with other people. I've been volunteering for different things since I was about 14 years old. I started off doing like the Meals on, I couldn't call it Meals on Wheels, but it was Meals on Legs. in the local community, because we had to walk down to the flats, and I saw so many elderly people actually just on their own. And I probably might have been the only person that they would have seen on that Sunday. And you're thinking, how on earth can we get to that place where there's no family for you, there's no one around? That's so sad. And so I've seen a lot of things, and being a giver is just how I am. And I don't mind receiving now. I've kind of learned to kind of rein myself in and said, oh yeah, you get a compliment, and you say, oh, thank you, and trying to receive it. Someone's helping you with your shopping bags. Say, oh, thanks, I really appreciate that. Yeah. Anyone else want to help me with my shopping bags whilst I'm there? Do you know what I mean? Just so I hope they don't run off with my shopping. Takers are the worst.
The hardest things for people to do. I mean, I used to be. I'm definitely over it now. If I need help, you know me. Hello, I need help.
Yeah.
But I was one of these people. I would never ask for help. I'd rather starve in my flat. But I'm not saying this happened, but I'd rather starve in my flat by myself than ask somebody for help, because it's that fear of disappointment. Being let down.
Yeah.
Wrong and strong. You can make it on your own. And
I am more open to receiving now, and I think I feel like I've noticed it more in the last few years, where I'm thinking, you know what, Faye, you need help. You're tired. You're actually tired of doing certain things. Like, who wants to cook every day? Who wants to do certain things every day? Who wants to take out the bin? My kids have to do stuff around the house. There's lots of other bits and pieces. Even like, I know for the book launch, I need a mic. So I had to ask you said, ask Janessa. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh no, I've got to ask for help.
A very good friend, by the way.
Yeah.
She's like part of the Conscious Dreams team as well. So whenever we've had an event, she's one of our authors. We, sung at book launches. She sung at the, Christmas party. Faye, we've been out loads. Faye, you've worked with her multiple times on book launches. So
yeah, loads of them. I mean, there are people that will just take. They just never give. Like, not even like a little 5p or something. Nothing. They just will take.
What type of people are these?
Yeah, but there are people like that. They just take. They're, oh yeah, I'll have that. They might recognize that you've got something that they need, and kind of make you feel like, yeah, I'm gonna get something out of that person, because I've sensed that actually they're a giver.
Yeah.
And so they take, and then they've taken. But what I've learned is that sometimes you give and you do not get it back from the person that you got it from. You get it in other ways. You get other blessings from other situations, other people. Might not have had enough money to do something, and then someone says, you can come for free. You helped me, or you do things like that have happened to me. And so
law of karma, that it's not always from that channel you've given to, you're going to get something from. It comes in a completely different way. There's so much more that I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about boundaries. Obviously, we were talking about some codependent relationships where somebody's giving all the time, and then it's almost like the perfect marriage isn't the right word, but it's even it's toxic. It completely makes sense, because if somebody's nature is to give and to be blocked to receiving because they're so used to giving, then they're going to get the takers. It's that perfect dynamic, like a pattern, isn't it? And I think it's beautiful. In your book, you have affirmations in there to help people to not only be aware of what's going on, but to help them to reframe their mind, or reframe speak today, reframe their beliefs, as well as really self-discover. I mean, there's so much more in the book. You've got reflections in there, you've got exercises. Is there a little bit, because I know we've got to pop over to Instagram in a bit, but this is such an important conversation. Is there a little bit that you can share with us? And as you're looking, I just want to read something that your sister said. She said, Faye has a brilliant gift in helping people through difficult times, or just a listening ear. Faye was definitely there for me. Oh, I'm emotional now.
Yeah, so do I.
Oh, when I lost someone very special to me recently. Reiki was something that helped me, that she was able to do. For a long time, I told her she is like God. Oh, she knows so much. Oh, that's from your sister.
I'm
Oh.
crying. She's gonna laugh.
But it's true, you do have a really beautiful spirit. And that's why, because of who you are and how you are, it was a no-brainer to help you to get this book published. Like, we did the crowdfund, a little secret one behind your back. We couldn't do it on social media because you were going to see it. And then everyone contributed. And sometimes it's not the people that you think it's going to be that contribute. It could be people that you don't even know.
People I didn't know, 100% as well.
Did you find that, and did you feel that? Let's talk a bit about the crowdfunding, actually, because for someone who found it difficult to receive, someone who is a giver, how did it feel kind of putting that out there? Maybe forced to put it out there.
Yeah.
Ask for help, and then going through that whole process, did you feel that nobody's gonna give anything, or is it worth
it? I was like, nobody wants to know what I'm talking about, really. Just like, I'm just Faye, just ordinary, isn't it? Just all of those kind of imposter things start coming through, and you're thinking, nah, who's going to help me? And then there was some people that I didn't know that helped me. I mean, who is Sergey? I don't know. There was somebody called Sergey.
Really?
Wherever he came from. Or was it a meerkat? I don't know. They I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. And then I had some big donations, and I was like, wow. And I didn't expect it, but they liked what was in the the narrative of what was going to come out of it. And they said, no, I'm going to support you. It's your dream. And we'll do that. And in whatever way possible. Some people, I can't thank the first crowdfunding that you did, what was in secret, all of those people.
Yeah.
And then this one as well, still people gave I was really like, I really appreciated it. I have a lot of gratitude for that, and I just thought it was, I didn't know it was going to really be able to take place. We've been able to do this on a shoestring budget, trust me.
Yeah, literally. But again, for me, it's just a no-brainer. I loved helping you on this project, and I always remember people who are kind and who have a warm heart and who are supportive. I would do anything. Do you know what I mean? I just want to see you succeed and do well.
Yeah, and I really appreciate, all of the help that you've given me, the constant nudges. Have you done this? Have you?
You look almost angry.
No, but I needed it, Danny, because I would have sat there procrastinating, drinking tea and having a biscuit or whatever, if you hadn't kind of like said, no, come on, you can do this. Yeah. And the Waterstones ladies as well, little group, they're full of support for me as well. And people that support me quietly, the silent listeners, the silent people that's out there, just anonymously supporting, and that's great. I really appreciate it. I honestly do.
So, does anyone want to hear a little bit of Faye's book before we end? I think it's story time.
Story time. Story time. As you know, I have worked with children for a number of years, so over 30 years. I still am. So, there's a chapter that came out because you asked me before the show, and it's called, it's chapter 10 in the book, and it's gratitude and appreciating your partner. And
is my partner still listening?
Yeah.
God, I'll play it.
Piper.
Oh, that's not so bad. The pigeon's gone. People who have no idea what we're talking about are going to be thinking.
Yeah, no. Some do now.
Anyway,
So yeah, gratitude, appreciate your partner. When your partner is a consistent blessing in your life, show your gratitude, appreciate them in whatever way you can. Tell them, show them, but somehow let them know, as it can make all the difference. Let's ask ourselves a question right now. How often do we notice the little things our partners do for us? And do you remember to thank them? What is a little thing? It could be simply picking your favorite treat on the way home, a caring note on the fridge door, cooking your favorite meal and dessert, tickets for a show, game or movie, or doing the dishes. Everyone will have their own little thing that makes them feel like someone thought of them and that they still feel valued in your life. Some people can wholeheartedly say that they acknowledge and appreciate the things people do for them, while others will need to think about it. Yeah.
Beautiful thought there. I think that is such an important thing, because sometimes we can take things for granted, and also forget to do little things ourselves, you know, that are really, could be putting somebody's tablets out for them every day, or I don't know, something small, you know, folding. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Really, this is it, isn't it, Danny? Folding socks for Nev. What has your life come to? Who knew?
I don't know. Oh God, the Neville's on. So you have to end the show in a minute. When you mentioned Piper, he said, "Don't talk about that devil sport." All right. So for those who don't have a clue about the Piper, Piper is this pigeon that's been visiting us every day now for nearly 2 months, and he keeps coming into the house, namely my office here, and just takes up a lot of time and attention. And Neville says, well, actually, this is a very good demonstration when you were talking about people doing simple things. He said,
Like
simple things like doing the shopping. He did. This is one of the things Neville is great at: shopping, food shopping. He did come home with about 3 bagfuls of shopping today.
Yes.
Come back from. So well done, Neville. Now he's saying, "Wow, I'm not sure what that's for." So, Faye, what are your next plans, and where can people get your book?
My next plans, I'm not sure. No, we've got the book launch. Obviously, I was thinking like after the book launch, but no, the plan is to have the book launch on the 12th of August at the Bread and Roses in Clapham. It'd be great if people could come and support. It'll be free entry. So, you know, or you could pay a little extra and get the book sorted out before everybody and have a little prosecco or something, perhaps.
The VIP tickets.
The VIP tickets, if you want that.
So we need to discuss this, and we're going to add. That on. Okay, there will be VIP tickets. I put the link in the comments right now. You can book your free ticket to Faye's book launch. If you want to upgrade, we're going to add some upgrades on there, which will include a glass of prosecco and a signed copy of the book before anyone else gets theirs. So we'll pop those on soon. Neville's asking, will there be cake?
So Neville, should I make a cake? I think I probably will do. Yeah.
Neville, I'll make cakes. Why don't we make a cake?
Oh, bloody hell. Sorry.
Are you really gonna out me on the interview like that?
The cake for my birthday was fantastically tasting. It really was. It really was. It just had a little side slide. You
know what it was?
It worked well. It was my we leveled it. So it's me taking my next steps.
I normally make savory things. I love cooking, but I just don't make sweets. I think the last time I made a cake, I must have been in like primary school or secondary school or something. So the first proper cake I'd made was Fake, again, being a giver, came round to my house, lent me her cake tin because I haven't got cake tins. And we made a marble cake for Neville together, which was lovely. Neville, wasn't it nice, the chocolate marble cake? And so then I thought, hey, Neville, why don't we do the same for Faye. She's always making everyone a cake. Don't let her do it this time. We'll make the cake. Maybe I should
I appreciated it.
We just needed to be in the fridge for a bit longer. That's all.
Wonderful.
Sliding. Yeah. Anyway, so where can people find the book? I'm just going to get the link.
Yeah, it's on Amazon, right? Be available on Amazon and the Conscious Dreams Publishing Bookshop.
Correct, Mondo. It's going to be on all retailers, but it's on Amazon at the moment. It's going to be on Waterstones online, Blackwell's, all of those over the next, once your book is out, will be on more and more channels. You can get a signed copy from the Conscious Dreams Bookshop. Here is the link. You can also get it from Amazon as well. I'll post the link as well.
And you can get it at the book launch.
Or you can get it at the book launch. Why buy? Listen, if you can come to the book launch or buy it from the Conscious Dreams Bookshop, that is so much better for authors, because when you buy things on Amazon, the author gets literally a third of the royalties that they get if they were to if you were to buy it in person or at the actual event. So here we go. It's available on Amazon as well. Okay, so we're going to pop over to Instagram, but before we go, do you have any final words of wisdom for your audience?
My audience. Final words of wisdom. If you think you can do it, just do it. And even if you think you can't do it anyway. Yeah.
I like that. Will you copyright that and then to put your name next to it and have it as a quote on tweet it?
I think I'll have to go back and remember what I just said, because
that was great.
Made up on the spot.
Buy a toffee crisp with the royalties Amazon give you.
Yeah.
So thank you. We're going to end all those beautiful words of wisdom. Faye, it's been an absolute honor to work with you and to continue working with you behind the scenes on Conscious Dreams Publishing and also on your book. I got you.
Yay.
Please do come along to Faye's book launch, buy the book, support, share, like, comment. That would be amazing. Please tune in next week at what day are we on? Thursday, next week on Between the Covers, Thursday 7 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. EST, where I'll be interviewing the awesome and amazing Natabi, who wrote this beautiful book, Lockdown at Go-Go's. Not only is she a lovely grandmother originally from South Africa, but hopefully her granddaughters will also be on the show as well. One of them is the illustrator, 9-year-old Nahanda. And the other one, Nahanda, helped her to write the book. So it's all about their experience during lockdown with their grandmother, Go-Go. So,
yeah, brilliant.
Also, I forgot to say at the beginning, I have been honoured to have been nominated for an award, an MB, let me get this right, MBCC award for Mentor of the Year, which is really humbling and lovely. So whoever nominated me, thank you so much. If you think that I am a good mentor and if you'd like to nominate me, I'm going to put the link in the comments as well, or just hop over to my Facebook page and you can see the link there. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in and have an absolutely beautiful evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.